Hi everyone, I'm so happy that you're here to join me for the Way of the Animal podcast.
Okay, so last podcast we talked about Tony Robbins' needs, and we started just with a couple of the needs and spoke about them.
Yeah, I felt the two were quite closely linked.
If you didn't listen to last podcast, certainty, uncertainty, recommend you start there because I think it'll be worth working your way through.
Yeah.
So the needs that Tony Robbins introduced to us about certain things you need to feel safe yourself.
I think it's things that everyone needs in different degrees to sort of fulfill them.
Yeah. So these were, I'm not going to do the descriptions for each one except for the one we're going to do, but it was certainty, uncertainty / variety, significance, love / connection, growth, and contribution.
Yeah.
And so, last time we talked about certainty and uncertainty. And this time we thought we'd talk about the next one on our list, which is significance. And the description is the need to feel special, unique, important, or that your life has meaning. This one might be a tough one for me, so
Okay, that's interesting. So when I think about the 6 together, and we've talked about this before, that there's an exercise where you sort of rate them and rate how much of them you want and what order you would put the 6 in.
How important they are, basically, to you. Yeah.
So this one, I think, is right at the bottom.
Okay.
For me.
You need to feel significant.
No.
Yep. Is that based on that self-reliance and confidence that it's just you, so it doesn't matter what significance you have.
I'm significant to myself.
Yep.
That's enough for me.
Well, that explains a lot about why I might struggle with this one. Considering we talked about some of my fears and challenges with certainty, and certainty is my belief in myself and my faith in my ability to cope with things.
Sort of things I've been through growing up and things that I found that I had to have self-reliance on myself and myself had to be enough for me. Mm-hmm. And therefore significance to feel like I've got meaning. So I feel like my life has meaning. Yeah. But I'm comfortable that it is completely within myself. Yeah. That if no one ever sees my potential or contribution or anything, that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Because I see it.
Yeah, because you see it. Yeah. Which may be what I don't.
And it probably also links back into my not reliance on other people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't care what you think.
Yeah. Yeah, which is something I'm working with.
But equally, I have a massive amount of self-significance. Like, we've talked before about the story that I tell myself is that there's nothing that I can't do. And because of that, the level of significance and importance and prestige for myself is really high, albeit in my eyes. So, but realistically, that's all that should matter.
Interesting.
To me, anyway.
Yeah.
Let's look at you.
I don't know if you want to open that can of worms. Yeah. Yours is nice and simple. Easy.
Mine's really simple. I feel like I'm probably an outlier.
Yeah. I think, we were even talking about last night, some people just want to feel special and they'll try to be different to feel special. And I think some of that significance comes from, and it would be interesting to see what we do with the love connections one, is like feeling loved.
Yes.
Like you can feel insignificant if you're not feeling loved. And even if you are being loved, but because you don't rate yourself very highly, you don't feel worthy of the love. There's a whole
That does sound like a whole mess.
Yeah, I'm not talking about myself at all, though.
No,
I'm absolutely fine with it. No, what really was triggering for me when you read them last podcast, was your life has meaning.
Yes.
And that's something that basically, since we left our own farm, and I didn't have that purpose in my life, and took on doing my own purpose, which is, the way of the animal things. And it's, not going to lie, been a real challenge. And I've had some major mental health setbacks in the middle of it that has then, I've not moved beyond where, I'm not where I want to be with all of my thing. And I have that feeling like my need to have meaning is to be helping people, which links into a later thing on
contribution.
My contribution. So there's that, while I feel like I'm just kind of ticking along, not really doing anything much, not pushing my business much, not really progressing forwards, I am then feel like I don't have meaning in my life because I don't have purpose. I don't have drive. I don't have passion to do anything. I mean something to you and the animals and the people around me who I meet and see in like that small circle. But I just feel like
I was interested that list that you gave off there didn't include yourself.
No, I don't have meaning to myself. No, because I'm not pleased with where I'm at and what I'm doing. Okay.
It's because that's mine starts with myself.
Yes.
So,
but we know my relationship with myself is not the same as your relationship with yourself.
It's a surprising thought, like it's an alien thought. To me, to not have meaning to oneself, but I can understand.
Well, for me, I think it's like that because I'm still working on being happy with myself. The external validation of having meaning to other people and their lives makes me feel like I am worth being here and significant in this world.
And I think work I've done with mental health and things like that, and working for the volunteering for the Shout charity, that you see it a lot of people that don't have a feeling of meaning or self-worth, which leads to a lot of dark places.
Shocking. Because if you feel like you don't have a place in this world, then the next thought that can come from that, well, what's the point in being in this world?
Yeah, completely. I can see how that builds. And it's interesting, like, because honestly, for me, it is an alien thought. Like I struggle. I struggle to understand
and
comprehend it. I can look at it and I can see all these things, and it's like, well, what about this? Why not that? Why?
Because it never feels enough.
Okay.
Whatever this and that are, it never feels enough. It's that thing you never feel like you're enough. And that's like a really good story to tell yourself.
That's an interesting one. And like I say, for me, the significance life has me. I mean, the significance to other people, aside from yourself, doesn't really affect me. Because again, I think because I kind of grew up without it or not feeling it. So that was fine. Then the meaning. I wonder if my meaning slips back into the growth and uncertainty for me, in that the thing that I enjoy and want out of life is experiences and I want to use the word adventures, but even just like problems to solve and puzzles. And
I think, like for me, because I feel kind of adrift because it's like I'm not conventionally working like I have the potential to do. in anything right now. And really, I don't want to work much in anything other than my gift of healing people and their animals. Like, that is my purpose and my drive. But there's whatever reasons or no reasons or certainties and uncertainties, this is not coming to fruition in the way that I hoped.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to fulfill your meaning and purpose when it's not happening.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I help people on a much smaller scale than I would like. And it's that challenge of convention of what I should do is be earning money from something that I love doing.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, what do you do when you meet people? Oh, what do you do? I'm like, well, nothing is my answer.
Because that's the feeling you have.
Yeah, because they're asking what I do as a job, and literally not really anything at the moment. Nothing. So then how can you feel significant when I'm telling myself I'm doing nothing?
Yes. Yeah, that's it, because that's not at all true.
No, I'm running this household, looking after the animals, making sure that we have all the basic normal needs met. And
you're holding a space for your healing.
Yeah.
And you're producing a podcast. And you do a whole bunch of stuff, but you just don't give yourself credit for it.
It just doesn't seem like enough.
Okay. Which,
again, leads back into the, and I think in that state, I would never achieve enough. No. And therefore I would kill myself.
Yeah.
Trying to get,
like people who've got $8 billion and it's like, no, it's not enough.
No, not enough.
I need more money. Yeah. I need more money.
Yeah, it's like, you're never going to reach that goal. You talked about the 100% with the calves, it's like, if you're always coming from that place of lack and not enough, then nothing is ever going to be enough.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, that I always strive for the 100% for the perfection, but I'm comfortable at not reaching it. So when I don't get there, then that's okay. Yeah. And for me, money, having enough money is, I can afford to buy food.
Yeah.
Can I afford to buy a fancy car or truck that I want? No.
But we don't want. That's want, not need.
That's want, not need. Yeah. So if I've got enough to cover my need, then the want is fine.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, that's my challenge with significance, is getting over the hurdle of feeling insignificant.
It's a challenge, I think, because it's quite high on your order of the 6.
Uh-huh.
Very high on the order of the 6. But it's one that you don't see.
No, you can't quantify it.
Well, no, it's like that you yourself.
Oh, don't see my meaning.
Don't.
Yeah, I don't see how. Yeah.
Like that whole, there's never enough money.
Yeah.
I don't think in the mindset that you're in that it would ever be enough.
No. But I'd like to just be doing something more than the little things that I'm doing.
Yeah. But
it's like,
doing more doesn't change the significance.
But yeah. Well, how do I help myself to feel significant without doing something?
You see the significance that you have, and while you can expand that to encompass more, it doesn't change it.
I mean, that's wonderful. Just see my significance. Yeah.
Well, it's things like looking, because for you it's very much for the healing work and the helping others and animals. So I know others and animals that you have significantly helped and changed their lives. Mm-hmm. You do too, yeah? Yeah,
but I'd like to be doing it more daily, or
I get
even friggin' weekly.
But so it's not...
That's not just mine.
It's not... So that's significance. That is meaning. That, and I mean, again, it comes from me, but to change one person's life is phenomenal. Yeah. However, what you want is you want growth.
Yeah.
Because you have that significance, you have that meaning.
But I'm not...
But you've not grown it enough. You want to grow it. You want it to be bigger.
Yeah.
But that's growth. That's not significance.
Yeah, okay.
But you don't see the significance of the helping that one person. You don't see the significance of the
No, because I'm just ready to help the next one. I just want to help the next one.
That's great. But it doesn't mean you're insignificant. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think it's like a societal pressure.
Oh, 100%.
Because
in this age of social media and all the posts.
I'm not meeting the conventional box ticking.
No.
Of a person.
Yep.
You know, why don't you work? Because you could work. You know, I could work and earn money. But
you don't need to.
We don't need more money.
No.
I'd love to have my business be something more.
Mm-hmm.
But earning money, doing something that I love and making a difference, it being that kind of energy exchange instead of working at something that I know isn't what I want to be doing or being.
But with that significance and meaning so let's say you could have, I don't know, 3 significant changes in people or animals every week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? But no business growth or monetary growth from that.
No, at least I'd be helping, and that's what's important, really.
Would that be enough?
It'd be a frigging start.
It's okay to say no.
I have dreams.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's because I feel like part of the meaning and significance for you is not only the expanding and the growth of your abilities and the people that you help, but it's also the growth of the money that you bring in for it.
Yeah, and mainly because
society is based on money.
Yeah, well, that, and I want to do something for myself, bring in my own money, so I'm not feeling I don't know it's ours, but just
I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
And I've always had this aspiration. When we moved to Canada, I had this thought and this feeling. It's I get my business going and I'm earning lots of money. That means I can pay for my family to come out and visit as often as, instead of it being every couple of years, because that's all anyone can afford,
Yes, yeah.
And it's not happening.
Not yet.
No.
But sorry, we've not got a residency yet. So, we're still, what was the cards today? It was the getting through the beginning. Yeah. We're still in the beginning part. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's interesting. And I think...
Well, it's funny that, for the money, I just want it so that I can...
Give.
Yeah. Well, it's so my family can come over, so I can give to more charities that need the money, so I can create places that are helpful.
While we'll work through all the list, the significance, the life has meaning, the certainty, and the contribution for you are so high, so massively high. And I think one of the things that you find difficult, and I could be totally wrong on this, but this is the way it seems, is that the want of contribution leads to the feeling of insignificance, which, kind of throws everything off.
I just want to help. Like I always said, I just want to help.
It's
make a difference.
Of all the things you could want in life, and while I don't think anything is better than anything else, having such a high drive for contribution is something so admirable, I think, because I don't have that. But
you do contribute. It's just in a different way.
Well, I like to help people, and I have this thing. I don't like people to sort of struggle alone or feel like they're alone.
Very
because
much me too.
No one should feel alone.
Yeah.
And I felt alone, and it's not a nice place to be.
Ditto.
My answer to that was to be so reliant on myself that when I'm alone, I'm never really alone because I'm there.
Yeah.
And that fixes it.
Good for you.
I understand that most people can't get that. But yeah, I just don't have the same drive. I love helping people, but if I didn't make any help or contribution to anyone for the rest of my life, I don't think it would trouble me as much as it troubles you. Because again, like I say, your significance, which we're kind of focusing on in this one, is so heavily tied to that.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like they should, I mean, the list has them separately, and I feel like they should be separate things.
And I do, and I think that, it's like with each of these sections, though, it's another part of me that I get to heal, is understanding that I don't need to be more to be significant, and that's the challenge I get to work through.
And it's interesting. One of the things that just kind of popped into my head there is something we've talked about before, is the sort of knowing and understanding yourself.
Yeah.
Which I feel like if you truly know and understand and accept yourself, your personal significance is more obvious to you, maybe. Because I think, and again, I don't know, I often wonder if I'm just a bit odd. But for me, like, my brain tells me, like, I can't know what other people think or feel.
Yeah, but the significance is that you have a meaning, that, and that's the word that rings to me more than like that. Like, that's the way around about that I'm hitting it,
Yes.
Rather than being significant is like having meaning. Like, there's actually a reason that I'm here,
Yes.
Rather than feeling very much like there isn't a reason I'm here.
But then that reason, that meaning, I think should be an internal rather than an external. And I think...
So how do you... how is that?
I think a lot of people get tied up in the external. And you see that with a lot of social media things. And you always hear stories about it, of people who post all these amazing things on social media, which gives them the feeling of significance. But then when you're behind the curtain, it's all just it's just a show. It's just a charade. It's not real. And probably those people have a huge feeling of insignificance.
So how do you create meaning for yourself from yourself?
So...
Which sounds really weird, but that's like kind of what you're getting at, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like that's how it is for me.
Yeah.
So I think for me, you have a really difficult childhood. And then after, years of turmoil and disappointment, you just say, oh, I'm done with all of this. And then once you're done with all of this, then you're like, you know what, actually, I don't need anything other than myself. Bang, then your own significance. So just spend your...
But that's great, but if you were to come at that from a different angle where you just don't feel significant or like your life has meaning, how do you find that meaning in yourself?
Yeah.
Without changing anything you're doing?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure in that.
Okay.
For me, the significance in myself... It does tie back to and I believe this for everyone, not just myself, that I could do anything. I believe that everyone could do anything. People, and I think schools definitely don't embrace this enough, people have talents. So there's someone...
No, because talent's an outside thing of you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Talent is an internal thing. So...
But it's... expressed externally, so then it's a meaning thing, no?
No, it's more like potential.
Okay.
It's more like the light bulb.
But I still understand how that gets you, because you feel like you have potential, you're significant.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Because this potential I have within myself, this skill or ability, is a skill or ability. Whether or not other people see it, I know I've got it.
Well, I mean, I'm at that stage.
Yeah, okay. So that for you is significant and meaning, because your ability that you have that is special to you, because and a lot of people who do healing and things like that say that anyone can learn this.
Anyone can learn it.
Yep, I completely agree.
In fact, we all do it. We just don't know we're doing it.
Yep, but to your level and your style and the way that you do it and the way that you see and feel the energy and connect in and change, like, that is special to you. No one else in the world will ever do it like you do it.
Yeah.
That is your special gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is your significance. That is your special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm not sharing it, how can I have meaning with it?
Because you have it.
But then it's wasted if it's just mine.
That's contribution.
But it is. It's just wasted. Like, it doesn't matter if I just have it but don't use it.
Yeah, but you are using it.
Not really.
Not on a big scale, but you're using it all the time.
Still doesn't feel right.
I get that it doesn't feel right. But I think that's the closest I can get to explaining it for myself.
Yeah. But it feels like it's pointless if it's not
used. Again, I think that one comes down to contribution rather than significance. I think like that's a different part. But the fact that you don't rate it and don't see it clearly within yourself, I think, creates some kind of hang-up.
It's hard to see something within yourself that you just are.
Yeah. But it's that.
But I think sometimes I also just shut it down, because then it just makes me more in with everyone else and normal instead of feeling ostracized and different sometimes.
Significant is the word you were looking for there.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a real interesting one, isn't it?
Mm.
But I really like community. And likes of, especially the community we've got for kickboxing. I think it's a nice group of people, and I enjoy that. But I can really take it or leave it. Mm-hmm. I don't feel it missing. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it when I've got it. It's like eating an ice cream. I enjoy it while I'm eating it, but when it's not there, I don't crave it, you know? But I think other people are different in it. And I think like that boils down to this whole thing. And I think that kind of comes to the contribution one. Maybe into the loving connection as well. But so uncertainty, variety, growth, all that side of things, they're not things I can leave. I can't, they're not take it or leave it.
Yeah, and that's kind of just showing where
my order is. Yeah. Whereas your order, some of the ones like the uncertainty, you could take or leave that. You know, it's like a little bit of variety is fine, but you know what? If I didn't have variety in my life, that's okay. I wouldn't miss the peril.
It's easier to deal with life as it's just not throwing shit at you all the time.
But so like that's the thing. So when you really look at these as a whole, the ones that I'm like, I could take it or leave it. You know, like I enjoy them when they're there, but I don't mind not having
So do you
them.
think the significance thing then, it's just about me sort of healing that part of me that feels insignificant. And then I wonder if it will have less meaning to me. Yeah.
So I wonder, and there'll be a whole lot of people who are really versed in this sort of thing, but a bit of, pop psychology, it probably goes to some sort of early life, childhood, not feeling important, feeling ignored, not feeling heard, which we all know these sort of things could be absolutely nothing. Yeah. It could have been some time when you were a small child and you were having a tantrum because someone wouldn't look at this pretty stone you found. And
so, I actually know the moment where a lot of those programs stepped in on me, and it wasn't anything like terrible, but it was in that moment for a child at that time. And it's just like, it makes me realize how, just on a segue, like how
oh my God.
you can mess up children, animals, everything by a moment that's really nothing sometimes. It's like...
You can mess up a child by them saying, Mummy, look at this. In a minute, and when you're in the middle of like juggling 10 different things, you're like, I'll just do this and I'll just look at you in a minute. That's
now a pre-programmed load of, oh my God.
Equally, if you drop everything the second they say, look at this, you can mess them up that way too.
Yeah.
So there's no winning.
Yeah.
Dogs are much easier.
But no, you can still do it. But that, like, they have a moment where something gave them a fright and something else happened, and then that's like some weird trigger. They talk about these rescue dogs. Oh, you don't know their past, and it's like
matter.
They like. I know from my dogs, I know everything that's happened in their lives. And I'm like, how has this become a thing?
The even better thing is, you know that you're 100% responsible for that thing.
But it wasn't like through abuse and bad people. It's just like poor timing, something random, throwing something at you. Like, oh, excellent.
Yep, I did this.
Excellent. Excellent. So it's just like, yeah. So, when you get into that, it's just like, it's funny what your subconscious creates in a moment of
But here's the
trauma.
interesting thing with it. You said yourself, you can identify parts in your life where these stories were created. You can rationally look at them and say, that wasn't like that.
But I'm still reprogramming. Like, it's still, so it takes time. You can heal it. It's just that it can sometimes... depending how deep seatly rooted, how much it's like in there. Words are good now.
Seated or rooted would work, I think, but not combined.
Seatly rooted, it's in there. That it's very quick to come up with the pre-programmed rather than the new programmed, and it's like we talk about we kind of joke a little bit, life's fun and full of surprises. Yeah. This was a reprogramming that was suggested to me about my fear of being triggered.
Yes.
So, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yours was sort of life's uncertain and terrifying.
Well, yeah, and I'm scared of being triggered was literally like the wording. And then it's, no, life's fun and full of surprises. And so we now, when everything's going absolutely haywire in our life, you just love to... Life's fun and full of surprise. I'm like, yeah, sure.
But that's where, like, one of the things that I think people don't appreciate enough is that perception and framing are everything. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the neuralistic programming, the NLP. Like, and I've done work with a mentor that was trained in this, and you've done training in it, and it is extremely helpful.
And if you can make it a habit in your life of framing and looking at perspectives from a positive standpoint. Yeah. Well, it's even if it's not the first thing that comes to you.
Even if it's you recognize, oh, I've just said it like that. So it's like one of the things I always remember about working with Amy within my NLP was that I always said, I'm anxious. And the reprogramming for that is my anxious feelings.
Yes.
So or I have anxious feelings. They're not mine. I don't own them. They're just feelings that are passing through me rather than owning the anxiety as mine. Yeah. And that if you own it as yours and your words and the way you say it, then it you hold on to it. It stays with you. Yeah. Whereas if they're just anxious feelings, they're passing through. So it's like, yeah, it's like the significance thing. Like I said, it will be interesting to see if I can work through. When I work through, this is that I do a lot of this in my mind, reprogram. When I work through whatever is making me feel insignificant in myself, it'll be interesting to see where that sits with me.
Yeah.
In this list.
I really, on a kind of segue, anxiety. I really like the thinking of it as anticipation. Yeah. Because anticipation can be good, anxiety can't.
Yeah, I know, but when your hormones start going haywire and you get influxed with anxiety just because hormones and things are doing stuff. And you're like, what's making you feel so anxious? And I don't know. It's just there.
You're anticipating something exciting happening.
Apparently I'm anticipating something. My hormones have anticipated. So it's like, that's all fine and well when things are kind of balanced and certain. And
I do have a very steady keel within me, which helps. But yeah, it's like framing for me. I always think about things like, you look outside the window in the morning and it's raining really heavily. And it's like, oh no, it's a horrible wet day. But then it's like, well, it's fresh.
Also,
the ground.
That again is bad because rain's not horrible.
But
we're calling it horrible. It's like
I see it that way.
I get upset when the
bad weather.
No, the AccuWeather says dull and dreary.
Oh yes.
And I'm like, that's not descriptive of weather.
That's
how the weather makes you feel. It's like overcast and damp. That is weather. Dull and dreary is how it may make you feel. So it's like
exactly. And you can frame it to be a better thing.
So but little segue, but I think it's important. I
think it's important because honestly, I think most people won't relate to the way I feel about things. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but I'm yet to meet someone who...
Well, or perhaps they hint on it and they're just still developing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think the way that you come at life isn't necessarily healthy for you
not
either.
Always, not at all.
It's not like you found the answer and you...
Nope.
It's like sometimes it's...
I think a psychologist would call it
dissociative
disorder. And I'm sure that I do have a dissociative disorder. Yeah. Because I know that within me is that ability to
shut it out.
And it doesn't matter what it is.
And I think that's the way you were until we met, and then it opened up another side and you realized that...
But that's a part of me. That is... a part of me, and I
think you draw on it as a strength when it's needed, rather than it being something that you rely on to fuel your life. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. So it gives me an ability, but I know that ability it gives me, if I let it out too much, is that side of me, the dissociative. I could stand up now, pick up the keys to the car, and drive away. Or walk away. I could, and there's coping mechanisms made within my brain and subconscious and everything that would just be like, okay, just shut all of that. It's just push all these feelings right down here and let them fester. I have that ability, trauma, however you want to look at it, within me. And I think that does help me with things. Because if I see myself vying for that external or, just taking the bad framing on things, I can just, shut that away, disassociate from that and associate with...
And then do you process it later, or do you just have it behind a door and then the door opens one day and you're like, whoa!
It doesn't exist
Hello?
anymore.
Yeah, so okay. It's not even shut away. It is released.
It is completely gone. So it's because, everyone has that search for significance and wanting to be significant to something exterior, like to be seen. Someone wants, and even me, who is real low on my needs, every now and again, I want to be seen. But when I feel myself that's holding me back, or that's causing me stress or anticipation, not anxiety, then I get to the point of that's not a helpful thing for me. No. The only person that needs to see me is me, because realistically I can't control what other people see, and they might see this thing and not perceive it the same way I perceive it.
You do that in about 5 minutes. It takes me about 3 months.
5 minutes? I've never taken that long.
Well, it takes me months to move through the process like that. Actually, I'm getting better at it, but it takes me a while.
That's how my process works in my head. And I'm fully aware of it, but I see it as a strength.
Yeah.
That ability. But to do that, you see, that I need the disassociation. Yeah. I need to remove my emotional side from the picture and then look at it disassociated. And then I'm like, oh no, this is the better path. Yeah. We'll take this one, that one can go away. And it does go away. Yeah. It's so simple.
Good for you.
But yeah, and so like that's where my significance to myself is what matters. It doesn't mean that the external, doesn't matter or it doesn't impact me. So things like kickboxing. Last night we were sparring and one of the coaches commented on improvements they'd seen in me. So that's an external significance, and that's great. I myself already felt
you'd noticed,
and people who've done martial arts and sparring and things like this, I think will appreciate the fact that regardless of your level, sometimes you go into sparring and you are terrible. Yes. Nothing is flowing. Nothing
works. You just feel like, am I a beginner again?
And then the next day, everything's flowing and it's like your timing's perfect. Everything just works. Yeah. And I think that's just life. Yeah. But so while I can be aware of days I'm like, oof, things are a bit rough today, or days where I'm like, oh yeah, this feels good. Still hearing it from someone else and they notice it too, it feels nice. But me feeling it is the key.
Well, it's almost like you notice it and then they've noticed it and told you. You're like, oh, it is true. You know, almost
that's
like
probably some sort of self-doubt or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Which that doesn't come into it.
Not for you.
Well, if I feel it, then it's real.
Yes. Well, that's great. Good for you.
So if I think I've done a good job, then I've done a good job.
But I always do that. Like if I had a session with someone and helped them with their animal, done a healing session, I'm like, oh, that went really well. And then, I'm like, did it though? Did
they think it did?
Yeah. If they notice a difference, I mean, they're going to struggle to notice difference because it's all so subtle. And then it takes time for to really integrate. Well, maybe they, it's just like, I have to disassociate from that. I have to stop that chatter because that's a killer.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. To instantly be like, yeah, that went well. I know I've helped. I know I've done a good job and I've done the best I can do. And then, but it's that fear of I've done the best I can do and it wasn't good enough. So we're getting back into that cycle of not being good enough, significance, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that seems a silly thing to do.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, you should stop doing that.
Yeah.
That's the answer. There you go.
Okay, so we just stop the podcast. Yeah. It's done. If I stop doing it,
simple.
Bye. But yeah, that was a really interesting one. And like I said, it'll be interesting. I think we'll go through them all and then
do an overview.
Maybe do an overview. We'll see how it flows, but yeah.
I think that'd be a good way to do it.
Yeah. All right, time for a cup of tea, I think.
Know that you're significant in yourself.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Because let's face it, all the other idiots in the world doesn't matter.
I know. Well, I'll work on it. Well, thank you. That was fun.
Fun and full of
surprises. Yeah, loved it.